Hello everyone, I'm Siriothrax, and today's match analysis is for Run Hot or Die game between Steel Jaguar Gaming and Antares Scorpions. This game is being played at a 700-ton drop weight, is the second match in a best of 5, and Steel Jaguar currently leads the series 1-0. We'll be spectating Harry78 in the Highlander 733C from the Steel Jaguar team. Steel Jaguar has decided to bring 2 Atlas DECs, 4 Centurion A's, a Highlander, a Cataphract, and 4 Jenners. This gives them a very strong brawl potential, but limits their mobility as most of their group does not have jump jets. On the other hand, Antares Scorpions has gone for a more range-focused, mobility-focused drop deck, with 2 Highlanders, 2 Cataphracts, a Stalker, 3 Centurion A's, 3 Jenner D Light Hunters, and a Spider that give their lights ECM. Alright, so off the bat, we're seeing the Steel Jaguar lights split up 3 going north and 1 going south. This is because the north is a bit more windy and the vision is limited, so it's easier to get snuck up on, while harder to get eyes on the main group. On the other hand, the south, you can get to the midpoint, look down towards the enemy spawn to scout, and then back it out while still having 400 to 500 meters of range between you and any enemy lights, which is what happens in this match. The Steel Jaguar assault group has decided to push the middle right canyon. However, their scouts have discovered the enemy is biased towards the left in Charlie 3 Bravo 3, and they know that they can't get a good approach from that side. So the assaults and mediums are ordered to push all the way back through their cap and try and get over on the left. However, due to the lack of jump jets, this is going to take quite a while, between 90 and 120 seconds, and they're at risk of being scouted while they do this. The Steel Jaguar snipers are going to take up position on the Delta 3 hill, where they have cover from the enemy snipers and can take a few pot shots at the light. Eventually, they will land 2 or 3 shots on those light mechs, which softens them up and perhaps wins the game later on. Now let's go to the SJR comms and see how they're adapting to the scout intel while they do this risky maneuver.
I think they have more range than us.
Yeah, they do.
Make sure we don't engage sense until DDCs catch up. And they're pretty far behind.
Are there lights? Right side.
Lights might be moving up.
No, they're not. From the,
They do the same
main
three
force,
setup
do we
we
engage
did.
their lights without catching fire?
Shit.
No, we can't.
Can your lights do it? D4?
No, their
Oh, we
lights are
can't.
staying where they'll be covered.
The 3D is on the right hand side now of the center.
New target acquired.
Yeah, me too though.
And the Highlander's still there in middle. I'm not jumping high enough to shoot, I'm just checking them out.
New target
Brawls are in
acquired.
D2. You want us to advance to ramp?
Use your third person, Harry.
Good idea.
Yeah, just stay there for now. Yeah, go towards the ramp, I guess, but just sit back.
One spider left side
Docker
here.
went up the
D2.
ramp.
2 Highlanders and a 3D.
So the Antares Scorpion Spider has gone around the left and seen the brawl force for SJR being cut off from their snipers. In response, Antares Scorpions is going to try and push the middle, dislodge the snipers, and hopefully take one of them out, knowing that the brawlers can't do anything about it.
C3.
We do, Glory.
That's a slow mech. He's on top. Watch the horizon.
Check your condition of Charlie lights if you get in a fight. I think he's hurt. They're possibly moving up. Magician, I just saw a blip.
Let's drop back towards our main force.
Yeah, there's 2. Okay.
Drop back,
Yeah,
drop
go for
back.
They're
sure.
pushing right on me.
Center force
Yep,
is
yep.
orange.
Alright, we're brawlers. Be prepared, they're coming towards our range right now.
We're gonna be
Behind.
dropping down on you guys. The Centurion's above
Lights. Let's move into support.
you.
They are
Start getting
not
sent
dropping.
lights.
Another behind us. Jenna hits.
Let's go towards our bait, towards
Dropping
E3,
down to you.
brawlers. Start moving towards E3.
I'm on hotel's legs, lights.
I'm on him as well.
Careful, lights, there's a lot there.
Magician, I've dropped down. I don't know where you were at.
Yep. We're all going
New
back towards
target
base just in
Yep.
case they want to drop down.
Fall back,
other side
lights.
of us.
Got a component destruction on that sense.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
We traded good there.
Alright, we can pause here for now.
So at this point in time, both teams have achieved very good defense positions. Neither one can really push into the other. SJR can't push because there aren't any ways up the hills, and Antares Scorpions doesn't want to push because the range is going to be so short that the brawlers are going to be fairly effective. Both teams are going to be at an impasse for the next few minutes, so I'm going to bring up the map and see if we can do a review of what happened. Alright. So the SJR snipers were positioned approximately in this area, and the Antares Scorpions had taken up, behind the center area. Seeing that the brawl group was caught out along this canyon here, Antares Scorpions pushed their Centurions around here to try and cut the snipers off from dropping to their main group. The snipers saw this coming on seismic and with the scouting, so they immediately started trying to drop down. In order to protect their allies, the SJR lights, which had been staying over here as a picket force, keeping the enemy generators off of the base, cut across and started engaging the Centurions. They knew they had this hill here as cover from the rest of the snipers, which were pushing in, and they managed to get one of the legs on the scent off before they had the bail because of the incoming snipers. If they had managed to finish off that Centurion, that would have been a large victory for SJR, as they could sit back and wait for the enemy to come to them. However, with it still being a 0-0 match, they were now forced all the way back, defending their base, and had to make something happen. What SJR eventually decides to do is have 4 of their Centurions and 2 of their Jenners push all the way up the left side and threaten the base cap. At this point, Antares Scorpions has 2 options. They can take their entire force and drop back, or they can push straight into the SJR force and eliminate the defenders, get on cap, and win that way while having their lights defend. If they were to push, SJR would probably continue straight on towards the cap, kill the Antares Scorpion lights, and try to cap it out. And if they saw that Antares Scorpion was returning, then they would double back around, and the assault group from SJR could try and regain that center ground and not be stuck on the back foot. So let's see how this plays out.
I want 2 cents. Go 2 cents. 2 cents. Run across. Join the.
User disconnected from your channel.
We lose magician.
No, I'm here.
I'm here. I'm okay.
It was Trevor.
Fuel at 25%.
Okay, we're going.
Yeah, you guys are going. I need to know if we need to know if they're rotating over or not.
Their lights have already rotated. Let's see their main force.
Fuel at 25%.
Somebody has to keep an eye on the main force.
I got 2 jumpers looking
Their
down.
stalkers still.
Their
83.
sensors just watching this direction right now. They haven't reacted yet. They're still holding.
Fuel at 25%.
On Bravo.
Hanford, you want to keep an eye on that left-hand side, mate?
Yeah, I'm just taking a peek.
Oh, it looks like they might be pushing towards E3
New
side.
target
They're pushing
acquired.
around your left side.
Take this
Their
base.
main force is
Are they
pushing
on
around
top
the left
or
side.
on top or?
Jenner sense, get on the base now.
Roger.
Centaurus Scorpions have decided to use their lights as defense while they push everything else straight towards the SJR cap, eliminate the defenders, get on, and hopefully win the cap war. However, it's possible that they didn't see the Centurions being pushed in as well, as 6 mechs on cap is not a threat to be taken lightly. SJR's goal here is just to drop as many things as they can, so they're deciding to go after the lighter scents, knock him down, and hopefully slow down the cap as much as possible. They're also fanning out to try and make focus fire difficult, harassing, and twisting as much as they can, just so that they die slow. On the other side of the map, the SJR Lights and Centurions are engaged with the Antares Scorpion Lights. In addition to being outmatched in terms of numbers, Antares Scorpions took a few hits earlier from the SJR Snipers. This means that they're dropping a lot faster, and SJR already has the cap down to half, with the Antares Scorpion Lights being forced to step onto the base to try and defend it. Blixen's Centurion A that we're spectating is the last defender for SJR, however. So Antares Scorpion gets on the cap and tries to pull off a reversal. However, due to that earlier damage, Antares Scorpions has just this one spider left to defend, and he's quickly legged and taken out, despite lag shield and spider armor. With that, the cap goes to SJR, and GG's and one broken heart are exchanged on both sides. Alright, let's have a look at the end of game screen. So to recap, it was all 6 of these alive mechs on SJR's side were at the enemy base capping. The Antares Scorpion Lights weren't able to take down any of the capping force, and weren't able to stall sufficiently. However, the DDCs, and the other Centurions, the Highlander, the Fract, were a sufficient speed bump to stall this push by a superior force. There were 2 big factors in this game. The first was jump jets, and the second was the aggression. Jump jets are very important on a mech. It gives you a lot of options whether you're brawling, sniping, or just maneuvering around the map. Especially on this map, Canyon is the least forgiving in terms of mobility. Probably needs a few tweaks, as most of the routes up and down are single file choke points, which are done without cover, meaning any sort of defensive force has a very good opportunity to have a firing line and put you down, and you can't really assault a defended position extremely well. The second factor was striking a balance between taking the initiative and being aggressive, and limiting the risks that you're taking, so it doesn't bite you in the ass later on. Antares Scorpions reacted well to scouting intel, and gained a lot of map control and position, backing SJR into the corner. However, they didn't continue flexing around trying to put damage onto the SJR mechs, which took the pressure off of SJR and allowed them to come up with a counterattack. After that, their lights didn't fully identify the threat posed by the 6 mechs pushing the cap, and the response from the main group was a bit slow. Overall though, this was a very good game played by both sides, and I hope it was as entertaining for you to watch as it was for me to both cast and play. I thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll be back with more of these casts soon. Take care everyone.